Your alarm goes off in the morning, and instead of getting up and following through on your plans, you instead decide to snooze. You're tired, exhausted from work, from life, and you can't be bothered about anything. Yet you want to change. And no matter how much you try to stick to your routine, stick to your plans, stick to your values, you simply can't do it. And as a result, you fall back to your old patterns. Now you're in a rut. You see everybody else achieving success left, right, up, down, doing backflips. But when you try to do that yourself, you just fall face flat on the floor and you lose a couple of teeth along the way. Now you're even more demotivated to get it done, as if feeling like a failure wasn't painful enough, right? But there's a way to change, and I'm gonna share how I managed to change and stick to my plans, stick to my word, and get things done continuously. So if you really want this, if you take yourself serious, if you want to become the greatest version of yourself, then keep watching this video, because this might be just exactly the thing that you need. The thing that you need in order to become the person that you desire to become, to finally make progress and feel like you are making progress towards becoming the greatest version of yourself. Now let me give you a disclaimer. It's not going to be easy. It's not an easy path, but things that are good for you are never easy. They come with challenges, but you have to embrace the challenges. You have to embrace the painful moments, even the failures that come down to you in life. Regardless if you get this thing that I want to share with you, you will have to still persevere. So if you really want this, which you say that you do, then you have to prove it. Not to me. You don't have to prove shit to me. You have to prove that to yourself. You have to stick to your own word and make it work. No matter any obstacle that comes down your path, you have to do it. Now let me bring you back in time to when I was a fuck up. You know, when I was wasting my time smoking weed, jacking off multiple times a day. When I was hanging around people that I didn't need to hang around with. When I was basically just wasting my time day in, day out, telling everybody that I wanted to be an artist but not making the proper sacrifices in order to get there, not putting in the work that is necessary in order for me to really make the progress that I wanted. There was one thing that I learned when I was in that moment. And over the years, I realized that this is exactly the thing that I needed to improve on. The only reason why I wasn't making the progress that I needed to make was because I didn't have a strong, motivating why. I didn't have a reason to fight. I didn't have a reason to get up in the morning and to get the work done. I didn't have that drive that people talk about. You know, you hear that often, that drive. You know, I had the drive to get it done. I had the energy, I had the motivation to get it done. The motivation isn't the feeling that you have inside of you that tells you, I'm gonna do it right now. No, it is your reason for why you decide to do something. Your reason for why you go through the discomfort, go through the pain, go through the suffering in order to make the results that are necessary in order to become the person that you want to be. And for many years of my life, I didn't have a strong, motivating why. I was mainly looking at myself and just simply telling myself, I just want this. I just want this. But simply wanting something isn't going to get you forward, isn't going to get you the results that you want. No, I had to sit myself down and ask myself, why am I doing this? Why do I want this? Well, I want this success. I want financial freedom. I want to make this YouTube channel work because I believe that if I don't do this, my family is going to keep suffering because I will have to keep working a full-time job, being away from my family and providing for them with a small income that I have. I will never be able to be a good father because I won't be able to teach my kids how to be financially free. If I don't do this, I will have to see my wife suffering, working a part-time job that she doesn't really like and she wants to be free. She wants to be a housewife and I can't provide her with that. If I don't wake up in the morning, go through the pain and the resistance that I feel every day, then I will never step away from listening to somebody else and following orders of somebody who can't keep himself to his values, who is willing to lie to me, who is willing to lie to somebody else just for a little bit of money. And as I talk about this and as I reflect on this, I feel so much energy inside of my body because it emotionally triggers me to get things done. And I didn't have this for a long time in my life. And as I think of this, I want to do so much. I want to get it done. I want to make it work. I have to make it work. Because if I analyze all of these points, I know that if I don't do this, this will be the result of it. And I can't accept that. So I see already that if I don't take my responsibility in doing that, what I said I was going to do, which will, as a result, put my family and myself in a better position for the long term, then I will forever be stuck in that cycle. And I will then feel extremely guilty about myself. And yes, it is uncomfortable to do that. It is uncomfortable to actually get yourself to do the work. But ask yourself the question, what's more painful? Doing the work or living a life knowing that you didn't do that what was necessary in order to create the freedom that you want for yourself, for your family, for your legacy, especially when you know that you have the capabilities to do that. Instead, you decide to watch Netflix all the time. You spend your weekends doing nothing, smoking weed or going outside, spending your hard-earned money, your full-time income on temporary pleasures, knowing deep down that you are not doing exactly that what you need to do, but yet you decide to purchase something because that makes you feel good in the moment and it makes you escape that reality for a little second. But every time on Monday when your alarm rings, you know damn well that you gotta get up and go to work and work with people that you don't want to work with. You know damn well that your entire weekend is a buildup of happiness on Friday, and then when Friday comes, it's Saturday, you're happy, and then you know it's Sunday. Sunday means it's closer to Monday. That means you have to go back and do the fucked up shit you don't want to do for someone you don't respect. Knowing damn well that you get home from work, you're frustrated, you're angry, because this is not the life that you want to live. And you see all the pain and suffering that is inside of your life and you're not fixing it. And you know damn well that you're not fixing it. You know damn well what you're doing that keeps you from changing that. So you go through the days angry, pissed off, you want to make it work, you're motivated, you have your reason. And then when Friday comes, you're then happy again that it's Friday. You have the freedom that you want for 2 days. And then Monday comes along and it's the same cycle on repeat. So you have to ask yourself the question, what is more important? The temporary pleasure that I can gain right now, or the pleasure that I can gain in the future by doing the hard tasks today? You know, the reason why I wasn't able to quit jacking off, why I wasn't able to quit smoking weed, was because I didn't have that strong reason. For many years, I didn't have a reason to quit smoking weed. It was only when I realized, while being high actually, that I wasn't being the greatest version of myself, and I don't want my kids to see me smoking weed later in life. I don't want to be that guy who's going to marry someone and has to hide it from her that I smoke weed, that I'm basically a junkie in my free time, that I'm not really living up to my fullest capabilities, you know? That was like the catalyst to me realizing like, okay, I have to get it done. And so back then I had made a document of all the things that motivated me. And sadly, over the last couple of years, I lost track of it. I lost track of my strong reasons. And over time, I started having like these questions again of, is it even worth it? I decided to press snooze more often. I decided to not put in the work. I decided to make more excuses. I decided to enjoy more time in the weekend. And my life wasn't going forward and I was unhappy and I didn't know why. And it was only up until recently when I was rewatching a video of my coach where he mentioned that you need to have a very strong why in order for you to keep going. Because every time you will feel like not doing it, you have to look at the reasons why you're doing it for. Every time you feel the discomfort, every time you feel the resistance, you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this for? Because if you don't realize it, you lose track of it. And when you lose track of it and you forget why you're doing it for, time passes by and you realize, fuck, I haven't done anything worthwhile with myself. And so I again made a new document and I read it almost every morning, reminding myself why I'm doing it for. Even when I wake up in the morning to go to my job, I remind myself I'm doing this for a reason. Every time that I have to wake up on Saturday morning in order to record videos, when I feel resistance, when I feel like I am not interested in doing it, when I just can't be bothered, I still do it regardless of how I feel, because if I don't do this, I will continuously be in this cycle and my life will not progress and the life of my family will not progress. And it is my fault. It is my responsibility because I have that realization. My mind has given me the chance to open up to that. I can see the truth. I can see where life is going if I don't do this. So every time that I don't do this, I know that I'm running away from my truth. I know that I'm being a fuck up again. I know that I'm being basically a deadbeat dad. I know that I'm not being a good husband. I know that I'm not being a good son. I know that I'm not being a good person towards God, because that means that I continuously remain to be working with somebody else who wants to lie. So I keep filling his pockets. And I don't want to do that. So I have to get it done. No matter how uncomfortable it gets, no matter how much brain fog that I get, no matter how many hours that I have to put in on Saturday to make it work, to edit the videos, to record the videos, to write the scripts, I have to do it. And every waking day is an opportunity for me to improve. So I have to do everything that I can every day to get closer to realizing that goal. Now, every time that I don't want to do something, I just think back of my why document. And even this week, I was sent home early from work and it was 9 a.m. And in my head, I had already said, you know what, I'm not going to do the work. You know, I normally work from 7 a.m. or even earlier. So it's 9 a.m. I'm not even bothered to do that. And then I realized, wait, I have the time right now to work on realizing my goals. So what did I do? I wrote 7 scripts for today already. I already prepared that for today so that when I had the time to record videos today in the weekend, I'd already put myself in a better position than I was in before. And I now can put even more energy, more passion. I could have invested a bit more time into my scripts, make them better, and provide a better message to you. this becomes a habit. You start working even when you don't feel like working, because you will not always feel good. Emotions come and go. Emotions are fleeting. Life is fleeting. It constantly changes. It constantly evolves. And this is something that we have to adapt to. We cannot allow all these changes, all these emotions that we feel inside of us to dictate whether or not we decide to do something, because emotions are not really a good indicator for making decisions due to their changing nature. So by doing this, reminding yourself of your strong why, and then when your fucked up feelings come up, asking yourself the question, if I do this, what will it give me in the future? Will it get me closer to realizing that goal? No, then I'm not going to do that, because that way you have set in stone is a fact, and you can't deny facts, because facts are facts. They're set in stone. They're not emotions. But yet it gives you emotions, the facts that you have written down. And that drives you to push forward. That drives you to keep going. And now every time that I decide to not do the work, I feel guilty. Every time I decide to quit going through the discomfort, quit going through the challenges, I feel like a true fuck up. I feel like I'm wasting my time. And this is exactly what I needed back then. So I'm sharing this with you so that you can create a strong, motivating why. Always remind yourself why you're doing something, why you're going through the suffering, why you're going through the resistance, why you're going through the pain. Because it's not going to be an easy path. Nothing that is good for you will be easy. Because ask yourself, what are the things that make you feel good? Watching entertainment videos, scrolling on social media, eating junk food, it makes you feel good temporarily, and then you feel bad, you feel guilty, you know that you did something wrong. And if you don't feel anything wrong, then you're either not aware of it, or you're running away so hard from it that you've become numb to that sensation. But if you want to be the greatest version of yourself, you have to set standards. And yes, you're going to look like an alien. Nobody is going to understand you, especially if you are an ambitious person. You are basically already an alien. But this is what you have to take on. This is what you have to accept. And this is the life that you will have to live. The life of the ambitious is filled with pain, and only pain, suffering. But the suffering is for a reason. Remember that. I hope that this message has been clear for you. You know what to do. Let me know in the comment section what your strong why is, what your strong motivator is. Use that as a way of journaling, and then I can keep you accountable for that. Let's keep each other accountable, because that is what we need. We have to create an environment of people who are on the same path as us, and I hereby am aiming to create that path for us, that community, that environment. So stop waiting, because it is your responsibility to get things done, and it's also your responsibility to take action. So remember that you are 100% responsible for the results in your life. Make the hard decision today, and I'll see you in the next one. All right? Bye-bye.